Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what's been going on in the NFL right now with a particular player, and that player's name is DEEBO Samuel. Why I think the Lions need to at least inquire about DEEBO Samuel. Why they need to at least pick up the phone and call San Francisco. Now, DEEBO Samuel. Tyshawn Waquan Samuel, nicknamed DEEBO, for a good reason. 26 years old, second round pick back in 2000, was it 2018? Something like 18, 19. 2019, I'm going to say. 3 years as a 49er, a second rounder from South Carolina Gamecock, 6 foot, 215 pounds of pure power in the second round. 26 years old, okay? Now, his stats as a 49er, 167 catches, 2,598, 15.6 yards per catch, 10 touchdowns, 67.9% catch rate, 550 rush yards, 11 touchdowns in 3 years as a 49er. Exploded onto the scene in 2021. Exploded. Had an okay rookie season, I think, from what I can remember. I should have wrote that down. Second year, got hurt. Don't really know what his injuries were in his second year, but he missed like 9 or 10 games. And then stayed relatively healthy in year 3. Stayed healthy in year 1, too. I think he might have missed a game. Didn't start every game. Started like maybe 10 or 11. Don't quote me on that either, but hurt his second year, like I said, pretty much exploded onto the scene in year 3. Exploded. This guy had over 1,400 yards through the air last year, 1,405 to be exact. 77 catches, 18.2 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns through the air, 365 rush yards and 8 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns overall, 1,700 yards plus from the line of scrimmage. So overall, he had over 1,700 yards. He has missed 10 games in his career, though. This is a kid that wants out of San Francisco, okay? He's on his last year of his rookie deal. Apparently, he wants Tyreek Hill money and then some. He wants to be paid. He wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback player in the NFL. And that right now belongs to Tyreek Hill, who's making $30 million per year for the Miami Dolphins. He wants more than that. Now, contract talks broke off with the 49ers. Don't know if it's money. It could be a money thing. You know, he has shown that he was injured. Hurt a lot in college too as well. Broke his leg in college as a South Carolina Gamecock. But very, very extremely talented. Now, why did the talks break off in San Francisco? Not really too sure. Could be money. There's rumblings out there, apparently from his camp, that he does not want to play the running back wide receiver hybrid role. Doesn't want to do that no more. Was watching the NFL Network too, and Brian Baldinger, a longtime NFL O-lineman, an analyst now on the NFL Network, threw out a graphic where he wasn't used in the run game in the first half of the season, much, or the first whatever it was. I think the last 11 games though, he was literally running to the ground, including the playoffs. I think they had 3 playoff games. They almost made it to the Super Bowl. But he was rushed 80 plus times or something like that in the last 11 games. Used a lot in the last 11 games. So the first 6-7 games, he wasn't used that much in the running game, but it was completely run into the ground in the second half, and then some. Then I was watching NFL Network still. This was earlier. This is before the Brian Baldinger comments. That apparently there could be a rift going on between DEEBO Samuel and Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the 49ers. Apparently, there's some stuff going on in his rookie season where DEEBO came in overweight, and that kind of started the riff from there. And apparently, they haven't gotten along ever since. Now, this is just reporting from guys on the television. Don't know 100%. I don't even know what his source was, but apparently he has a source, and that's what he was told. So these guys report this. I believe him. I'm not saying I don't believe Kyle Brandt. I'm just telling you. It could be a number of things. It could be a money thing, which probably is. Could be a usage thing, which has come out too. And it could be a head coach, Kyle Shanahan thing. Could be all three. Now, if it's a usage thing, I don't really understand that kind of, because that's where you're making your money, DEEBO. You were used. You probably used too much. I do understand that, but that's where you're making your money. Like you got 1,700 yards from the line of scrimmage because you were used a lot as a running back, and you got in the end zone. You lived in the end zone last year on the ground. You had 8 touchdowns on the ground last year, 6 through the air, 14 total overall. So if you're going to come out and say that you don't want to be used like that, I'm not sure if I'm buying it. I'm not sure if I'm buying that. But that doesn't really matter right now. I've been really quiet with the way Brad Holmes has done this rebuild. Let's just call it. Let's call it a build, a rebuild, whatever we call a retool. Can't even figure out what we're calling it nowadays. I've been really quiet because I've been pretty adamant about how I kind of agree with how Brad Holmes is doing this. Going after players, low cost, low risk, high reward guys. He's gotten some production out of players through free agency. Low guys like Khalif Raymond, bringing in guys. He's decent as a number 3, number 4 guy. Even had to step in as a number 1, number 2 last year because of injuries. Has gotten some production out of these low-key guys. I've been really on board with how they're doing it. Like, not spending a boatload of money on free agents. I feel a little bit different here. I want DEEBO on the Detroit Lions. Now you're going to ask, well, what are we giving up? You can throw a couple scenarios out there. It starts with 32, okay? It starts with pick 32, first round. That's what it starts with, 100%. You're not giving up pick 2 for him. That's just maddening. You're not going to do anything like that. But the 49ers don't have a pick until pick 61. That's the second round. They don't have a first-round pick, I think, because of the Trey Lance thing. Now, if you could get away with giving him 32 and maybe a player, or maybe even 2 players, would you do it, Lions fans? It's probably going to take pick 32 and pick 34. I think for sure the 49ers would do that straight up. I don't think they would pass on that. I don't know why you would even pass on that. That'd be silly to pass on that. But if I was Detroit and I was offering 32 and 34, I'm asking for a pick back. A later pick. I'd ask for a third. You're probably not going to get a third. I wouldn't go any farther than a 4th. I wouldn't take a 5th. I would think about it, but 4th is where I would draw the line. Would you do it, Lions fans? I would do something like that. Now, I know I was going to say, we don't have we're not going to win with DEEBO. We need more than DEEBO. I get it. And I agree. We're not going to win just with DEEBO Samuel. But he is a different type of animal. He's a different type of animal, and he would change this whole dynamic of this offense, I think. You're not going to have to run him into the ground like San Francisco did. If his main concerns are usage, then okay. We have the running backs to play in there. Doesn't mean you can't do that on occasion. You don't have to run him into the ground, but you can definitely use him as a running back. I don't think he's got not totally out of his mind where he's like, I'm just a wide receiver. Yeah, you are a wide receiver. We get it, bro. But you came on the scene in year 3 playing both sides, running back and wide receiver. That's where you're making your money. And if we're going to give you 30 million, 30.1 million like you want to be paid more than Tyreek, you're going to get $30.1 million. You're going to do what the organization says. Yeah, you don't have to run the kid into the ground, but you can't be just saying you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. I want the kid on the team regardless. I want him on the team. And I know he's not going to bring us to the promised land in year 1, but it's a guy that's going to change the offense. I think he would change this offense dramatically. You're getting a better version of a Golden Tate. You're getting a better version of an Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're getting a bigger and stronger, maybe a little bit faster too. Might not be as fast as Tate. But when you watch DEEBO on tape, I think he ran a 4.48 at his combine a few years back. That's not overwhelmingly fast, but it's not that slow either. 4.4s, you know what I mean? You're still kind of quick. When you watch him play, he runs through people, he runs around people, and he runs away from people. He does all 3. And then say the problem is still the usage of him playing running back. Dump offs. It's an extension of the running game. Short little passes. Play him as a running back. Have him swing out. You just got to get the ball in his hands. He's going to get you first downs. He's going to get you touchdowns. I think the Lions need to make this move. And apparently we're in on it. It's the Jets, the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Lions have been heavily interested in this move. Apparently everyone else too, according to Ian Rappaport. He thinks anybody that likes good players is interested. And he's right. He's 100% right. I could literally see 31 other teams and the San Francisco 49ers. So 32. The 49ers aren't probably done with this. They probably don't want to get rid of him, but if you can get a haul back, then the move could be made. It starts with 32 for sure, and the Lions will probably have to give up pick 34. I'd be willing to do that if I got a later pick back. This whole fan base wants a wide receiver, right? At 32, 34. Everybody's in love with all these wide receivers, unknown products. You're going to get one with pick 32. And you got to give up 34, though. But you could get one back. Maybe not. You can always work on something. You're getting a bona fide, legitimate star. He's a star that's in his prime. He's 26. Doesn't turn 27 until next year. January something. So you're getting a great player. Like, I want this regime to show some nuts. Like, this fan base, man, we're just content with just being not even irrelevant. Like, not even relevant. There's no relevance here. We're not even mediocre. This fan base just wants to stay the course. And I do get it because I want to stay the course somewhat. I want this team to, build in the draft. I get it. But this is a different type of player, man. And if you can get away with 32 and 34, maybe get a pick back down the road, I would do it, man, if I was Brad Holmes. And they're apparently interested. Now, that means nothing. And if he goes to the Packers, I'm tripping balls, man. Because the Packers are apparently interested too. He'll probably end up a Chief. But if the Packers get him, I'm going to remind everybody, man. I'm going to remind everybody what he does to this secondary and what he does to our linebackers as a Green Bay Packer. Or just the whole defense. And how he gashes our defense twice a year. I do not want him going there, and neither does this fan base, man. You do not want DEEBO Samuel going to Green Bay. It will be nightmarish if he goes there. We can't have it, man. We can't have. We have to block that somehow. We have to block that. It can't happen, man. I get it. We got to build to the draft. Build, build, build. I want that. But I've been real quiet about everything. Free agency, saving money, this, that, and everything else. But this guy is a different type of animal, man. He's a guy you want on your team. I want DEEBO, man. Bring the fella here. Bring the big boy here. 6 foot, 215. Plays like he's 6'4", 240. You can't tackle him. And I know we got to build, but man, bring him here. Bring him here. You can still build, man. You can still build. You still got the number 2 pick. Then you pick in the 3rd round early again. So it's not like we completely lose picks. And if you could somehow squander a pick from San Fran later, like I said, the 17th time, then do it. You got to try to negotiate with this, man. This guy needs to be a Lion. I'm all over this. I'm all over this, man. He can't go to Green Bay. He goes to Green Bay, man. Oh, it's going to be bad. It's just going to be bad, man. You don't want to play this guy twice a year. You don't. You don't want to play this kid twice a year. He's just getting into his own now. You know? So he needs to be a Lion, guys. Thanks. It was a long video again. Sorry, man. Thanks for the video. DEEBO, I hope he's coming to Detroit. I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers. I'm not feeling the naysayers. And that's fine. That's fine. Everyone has an opinion, man. I think he needs to be a Detroit Lion. Thanks for the video, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos. Let's talk about it. And like and comment this video. Share it. Let's talk about DEEBO. You guys want DEEBO here. We don't have to give up a whole farm for him. We can get away with, man, maybe 32 and 34, get a pick back. Okay, if you get the pick back, I think it's a no-brainer. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Go Lions. DEEBO.